right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. We have the ladies from Ocala Eye in the studio. We are going to talk about our eye care and all of the things they do over at Ocala Eye. And I know vitamins is one of the topics today because we had a call this morning. Zora Harrison, Nikki Nix, and Lindsey Weisman. How come I always do that to you?
That's okay.
Is it Weisman or Weisman?
It's Weisman.
Weisman, thank you.
I get it all the time. It's
I should
okay.
know by now, right? I should know. Well, good morning, ladies. Thank you
Good morning.
for coming in.
Good morning.
The camera's on you. Nikki, is your hair lighter?
It is.
Yeah, it looks good.
It is.
Is that from the sun, or you just do it
just
in the bathroom
ended
somewhere?
up this time when she did.
No, we stopped coloring each other's hair in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. You all were high school
Yes.
classmates. Were you in the same grade?
No,
in high
Nikki's
school?
older than me.
I'm older than everybody.
So we had a call this morning. We were making the announcement of who would be on today, and I guess somebody thought you were on at that moment. So I told, please tune in. And so, ma'am, if you're listening, I did hand the question, and you guys are going to answer. You ladies will answer the question about vitamins and how it affects the eyes.
Well, I think in our practice, we really just recommend two, and they're kind of specific to needs.
Mm-hmm.
So one need is for patients with macular degeneration, whether it's it's dry, but there's some types of macular degeneration changes that they notice that maybe a preventative vitamin may help.
Oh, wow. Okay.
With, and then even in our patients that have wet macular degeneration, we recommend. But those are called Ocuvite Preservision 2 A-Reds, I think. We don't sell them. It's just something we recommend.
Okay.
And the studies have only been done on that have been published for our patients. We typically recommend that particular brand, the Preservision brand. But as far as dry eye, there is one that we do actually sell because you have to purchase it through a physician's office, and that's called Hydro Eye, and it's a specially formulated vitamin that is for the natural tear production. So Hydro Eye again is specific for patients with a need like dry eye. There are some things that you would want to check with your primary care provider before you take it, but just with any vitamin. But that's pretty much it. Other than those two things, we recommend that you don't smoke and that you eat green leafy vegetables. So
Yes, green leafy vegetables.
high antioxidants, yeah.
So you all grew up in Williston. I have a hard time with collard green or whatever the greens are.
Oh, greens, I love them.
I don't like them.
You don't?
No.
Oh, they're so good.
And you grew up here.
I don't like them.
So it's the one southern food I haven't warmed up to.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
so good.
Isn't that weird? How is it good?
Maybe the right
We
person
put some extra
hasn't-
butter in there.
Yeah, you gotta have like a pork bone, like a ham bone or something.
Oh, you have to. Okay.
Yeah, you have to cook them for a long time.
Oh, okay.
I will bring you some.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's not really this season. It's kind of like really like a real winter food to me.
You know, another thing that I couldn't warm up to. What was that thing that the guy brought in? Sorghum or something?
Sorghum, yeah.
Sorghum.
I don't know what
Instead
that
of
is.
maple syrup, it's like. It's a very southern, and the guy swore up and down it was great. And I said, I tried it. It wasn't that great. He brought me a whole gallon.
Oh no!
He said, yeah, you'll like it eventually. I said, well, no.
Keep pushing through. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what it is either.
No.
So we have a few days left still in February. One of the things that we have going on in our aesthetics department is still our $60 chocolate and rose petal treatment. You can give us a call, and we still have that going for a couple days left.
Explain what that is. I love the name, but I know you told us before.
I'm gonna let you.
Okay, so it is a exfoliation treatment, and it's a Valentine's Day because it's a chocolate. It's not real chocolate, but it is like it's scented like a chocolate. And there is properties of the cocoa that's in there, but this is a facial treatment that is like a rejuvenation treatment for the skin. So it's like almost like a mask. And so that's on special right now for $60, and that's just for the month of February. So if you purchase it now or you call and make your appointment now, you'll get it for that price, whether you come in March or not.
And you do it there at your location?
We do. Denise, our esthetician, does.
Okay. So are you laying there and something is like brushed onto your face?
They do, literally. And it's a hydration. So, right now, everybody is dry. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the dry skin is a problem.
Rob, have you noticed?
No, because I use.
Oh, she uses
But see,
something.
she's using something. That's right. Like, I mean, I guess it's not as bad as we've seen some Februarys here that, people are really dry. But dry skin is something that, obviously if you put makeup on, which you don't have to deal with, but
Right.
you don't want to put makeup on dry skin.
Yeah.
So she does a good job, and she puts something on hers. But this is just like a hydration therapy for February that we're doing.
Did I ever tell you about the little girl that went to Cocoa Beach?
No,
Oh, I didn't?
no.
Robert, I
think
can
so.
tell my story again. So we were, when you say Coco, it reminded me. Robin and I, we used to play music for children, and so we had a gig in Cape Caribe, near Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
It was a resort. And Robin was getting ready, because I get ready real quick, and I'm waiting out there for Robin to be done. And a father walks past with his little girl, and she's so excited. She sees her brother. She says, "Guess what? We're going to a Cocoa Beach." Isn't that cool?
Cute.
So right away, you know what she's
Yes,
picturing in her mind, right?
yes.
She's picturing no sand, just cocoa,
cocoa.
everywhere.
Bless
That's
her
pretty
heart.
cute. I love it.
That's cute.
Yes, and this is going to be, we offer that treatment all the time, but that's just on special right now. So, and of course, we always have our hydrofacial, which is wonderful.
And what is
too.
the end result of the chocolate treatment?
Well, just it's like a rejuvenation. So, like for women, we get we get pedicures and manicures just to maintain.
Does it last like for a week or a month? Or?
It just really depends, because some people have really dry, damaged skin, so they're going to need more, ongoing therapy and treatments and things like that Denise can recommend. Like Robin was saying that she uses the creams at night and stuff like that. And then some people they say it lasts for a while, so it's like a good cleanse, renew.
So it's like
Improves your skin tone.
So for me to kind of relate to this, it's like a car wash,
Pretty much, maybe, yeah.
right?
Yeah, the car's going to get dirty again, so you're going to have
Yeah.
to.
Okay. So I got you. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, that's really wonderful, because when people come in, they don't think of things like that.
No,
And
they
then when
don't.
they make their appointment for their eye exam, you ladies will notice things like that and bring suggestions.
Well, people have always asked us before we had an esthetician, what do I do about, what can I put here? Like, right around close to the eye. 'Cause,
Right,
it's delicate skin. And we couldn't answer the question, honestly. That's one of the reasons why we hired an esthetician. We got that question often after surgery, after blepharoplasties. So patients would say, well, what kind of skin cream should I use? What can I do to protect myself? Or we take a lot of skin cancers off the eye and eyelids and things. And people would ask us, what kind of things can I do
Really?
to prevent? Yeah. So that's kind of where Denise has fit in. She's not just to make us beautiful, but she's there to protect the skin and make sure that we want to keep those precancerous cells, their hydrofacial helps,
Yeah.
yes, to keep all that. So, and that's kind of why she joined our practice.
Well, and I think too, in general, as women more so than men, as they age, and
Yeah.
we've helped their vision, we've fixed it, we've made it better. They start to notice their
They can see
aging
themselves
skin
better,
a little
yeah.
more than they used to, and so they want to do things to kind of help kind of reverse some of the effects of the aging that they've
So you shouldn't
accumulated until this point.
So you should not sharpen the vision of the husband all that much.
Listen, we've been accused of wrinkles before. We've had patients get really annoyed and say, "I did not have these wrinkles yesterday
Yeah.
when I went." Yes, dead serious women have said to us, "No, ma'am, you did. I mean, you gave me this wrinkle after my surgery," and we're like, "No, it was."
That's pretty
I
bad.
have another thing I want to say that I sort of feel maybe we talked on this once before, but you said the under the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
There was a video that was circulating, probably still out there on Facebook, and it showed this guy who had
They'll put that cream stuff
right
that tightens it up.
had these really bad
Mm-hmm.
dark circles under his eye, and they would do under his eyes, and they were putting it under one eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then there's time lapse, and you could
Yeah.
see it getting better. And I don't know if that's real or not.
Whatever's in it does work, but it's almost like it works by itself, because if you put stuff on top of it, if you put any kind of moisturizer or makeup foundation on top of it, it for whatever reason doesn't work.
Really?
I don't
Yeah,
know what the components are of it. I've actually used something similar to it
Oh,
before,
really?
just to see. It was a little sample thing,
Huh.
and it does work. But as soon as you put something on top of it, it's not tight like it was.
Wow.
And it's nothing is going to like it's going
It's
to
not
help you
long
that
term.
minute. No,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
not long term. It's just a temporary fix, for.
But is there a more permanent fix that you offer?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay,
Blepharoplasties do.
What are you saying? Bufferplasty?
Blepharoplasty. So there's
Blepher?
BLEPH.
Blepharoplasty.
Blepharo.
So what that
Plasty.
is there's lots of ways. Okay, so just go in and talk about your eyelids. And right now we're in between oculoplastic surgeons, but we'll have one by the end of this year. And those are there is permanent treatment options. There's also things like fillers and Botox that help to minimize wrinkles and also fill in the cheekbone to kind of lift in other areas. We actually have a nurse practitioner that's joining us. She actually has been a nurse at our surgery center for many years, but her name is Megan. And she's a nurse practitioner that does Botox and Juvederm and fillers. Those things do last for longer than a one night going out on the town. And a lot of those things that you use that are just going to be for that day, they have like high amounts of caffeine and things like that.
For the day?
Yeah.
for weddings.
Yeah, and I
like
think
that.
that too, if you are keeping up with some sort of skincare regimen or routine facials with Denise, that you're using products that are replacing the collagen in your skin and things like that are helping just replenish what we just lose just.
Naturally.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a vitamin question too. I mean, do you have vitamins for the skin? I guess, right?
We do not, but these are things that you put, like the things that I use at night, they're like 3 steps. So one's a cleanser, one's a toner, and one's a night cream, and then I use a different one in the morning. But she'll give you kind of she really does have to see you because they do everything based on you as a person. So you have rosacea.
Gotcha.
We've established
I
that.
know.
So she does things specifically for rosacea, where she wouldn't do that with me.
Why do you have such a pretty name to such a horrible thing? Doesn't rosacea sound pretty?
It does sound
Yeah,
pretty.
it kind of does.
It's like a rosacea kind of a day. It's like, oh,
See,
it's
I'm a
beautiful.
terrible speller. And the first time I was in a room with one of the surgeons and he said rosacea, I thought, now how in the world do you spell that? So I've always hated, and I still get the word confused. So I always hated being in a room whenever he would say rosacea. But it is so common. It is so common, and things do irritate it. So Denise being there, I've had plenty of patients ask me, why do you have a hearing specialist? Why do you have an esthetician? Well, these are all things that affect you. I mean, you came in, you can have inflammation in the eyelids. That's from rosacea. So, or you get skin cancer, things like that. How do you take care of that face and the delicate skin around it? Well, that's what we do with Denise. Hearing is
Do you
kind
ever
of,
ask that question? How do you take care of that face?
yeah, you know what? We steer away from that one. People are not as inviting when you say, we're here to fix your face, But we really do feel good. We use Denise. I mean, I think
Can I say this? I mean, the complexion of all three of you is absolutely beautiful. So,
thank you.
I mean, obviously, if you're what do you call it, Robin?
we're a
An
client.
example of
We're a
what
client.
you offer. Yeah.
Since Denise has been there 4 years ago. Denise was the first person ever to do a facial on me. So I had never had any services before her. So I mean, I would never have anybody else. I'd feel like I was cheating on her. But she's very good, and we're not like this is not the core of our business. So this is no high pressure sales
Sure,
thing.
sure.
This is like a
it's
service.
just service that we offer for our patients. So there's
Yeah.
things that we can take care of in-house for them that they don't have to seek elsewhere. And they can kind of have a little bit of comfort in knowing that they can
Well-
trust their doctor
Yes,
to
they know
have
us.
services provided within the practice that will benefit them.
And while it's maybe a small part of your business, I think it's important that we talk about it at least
is.
now and then, because how would anybody know? I mean, Ocala, you would never think Ocala Eye, I can go get
No.
my skin and my face fixed or clear it up
No.
or whatever.
Right.
Do you have young people with acne? Does that get treated too?
We do.
She has a teen facial that's geared just towards acne.
And
Really?
it's very good.
And actually,
Very good.
that we're on that subject, in March, we are having a organic microdermabrasion, which is with Denise too, and that's supposed to help with acne scarring and mild discoloration and sun damage and wrinkling. So, and that'll be $50.
And the sun damage
Nice.
is huge. If you can treat that sun damage now, it encourages the cells in your body to repair itself.
Sure.
Yeah, we do actually spend a lot of time talking.
See, that
about
would be
these
one
things
a
because-
young man could do. I mean, a teenage boy.
Oh yeah, well we do have lots
Oh, I
of,
bet they do.
male
Yeah.
young. It's this kind of things. This is not gender based at all. Your exposure to the sun is the same. You have rosacea and you're a male. So
Yeah,
it's the facial needs, just like hearing, does not
Yeah, but I'm
discriminate.
63. And what I get, the reason I bring up my age is because I'm not going to be embarrassed anymore. Well,
Yeah.
not by that, but a 16-year-old male is going
Right.
to be really say, "I'm not going in there." That's what.
I don't know. My son didn't. I thought he would.
So maybe
but,
it's different now,
I
huh?
think they're more in tune. I feel like all teenagers are more in tune with vanity than maybe we were. I mean, I look at our high school
Maybe,
pictures.
yeah,
We were
yeah.
clearly not.
I think there's
But-
more males than you realize.
You do.
Oh, really?
Especially for Botox.
Yep.
Men and Botox, I mean, it's the nice thing about it is people don't notice that you've had Botox. They're not even looking for it. And if a person does a good job doing the Botox, you have no idea they did. You just
Really?
think, gosh, they don't have any wrinkles on their forehead. How did that happen? But yes, we have a lot of male Botox clients.
And your practice is very hygiene oriented. I mean, you go in there and you have that puffer machine. You
Yeah,
got to have your
take
face
care of
right
everything,
there,
yeah.
and you got to put that thing on over your face for your vision correction and things. And people like to know that it's after every visit.
Oh, yes, and
it's
usually
all
our
sterile
technicians
and
are wiping
everything.
that down either while the patient's still sitting there or before they start on the patient so they can visually see that it gets wiped down between every patient. Everything gets touched, and wiped. Everything does in between every single patient. So,
Yeah, very
And
sterile.
Because we deal with a lot of infections and people coming in, we always treat every patient like they have some, we want to make sure they have a great experience too. We have one more kind of exciting thing that's happened. We just invested in new technology that's going to be going into our villages. So this new machine Robin was talking about, putting your face in there, is going to not only help us to do your workup faster, so you're not waiting for the doctor so long, but it's really advanced technology that's going to be using 3D imaging to help us get the best eyeglass prescription.
Oh, nice.
And yes, and we can actually send that new 3D imaged prescription to the lab, so to make glasses. So this is technology we're going to start in the villages, but we're going to put it in all of our offices.
Oh, nice.
We're very excited about it. It's going to give a patient a much better experience when they come in to our practice. So we're going to be, and April 1st is our, or actually I think it's the 3rd, is kind of our go live day with that down in our village location. So we'll have to keep you guys
That's right around the corner, mate.
It is.
First is what, Thursday?
They're
Yes.
actually building the units right now, and they'll bring them in, and so we're excited. It was something that we looked at for almost 3 months, and Lindsey and I kind of flew all over the country looking at practices using this equipment.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. All over the country.
So,
Where'd you go?
We went to, in the middle of winter, we went to Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh, wow.
And then we went to someplace in Illinois, and that was quite an experience. We actually, was kind of cool. We got to go, the company that manufactures these, they have a private jet that they took Lindsey and I to Illinois for the day in the middle of
Nice.
winter to look at that. And then we went to New Orleans to look at it. And then we saw it for the very, very first time in New York at a Vision Expo. So, but you always want to let technology they work the kinks out of it. And it's really there now to where it gives the patient a much better advantage.
Well, that sounds like fun.
It is fun. It's exciting.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, you got to send me around looking for new microphones or something.
In a private jet.
Yes.
Yeah,
No
just
less.
There are some perks to our job.
We were thinking about you this morning, Lindsey, with because you went to Haiti. We had this story about this tower that can pull water out of the air for impoverished countries that don't have clean water. I was just wondering, is like this Haiti, of all the things they have a problem with, is water one of them? Or do they have plenty of water?
Well, I don't really know how to answer that question. They have water, but you have to go down to the bottom of the mountain or at the top. It just depends on where the spring is. And they have, kind of like the chlorine jugs that you have for the pool. So that's what they have. And they
Oh
go
my
down and they
gosh.
get the water and they carry it back up on their
Oh,
head.
no, this is exactly what we were talking about.
Yes, I have never in my life seen some of the things that were carried on some people's heads. I have absolutely no idea how they do it, but that's how they carry it. But that they go
my
down.
gosh.
Like we went for a little walk one of the nights, and I felt so bad. There was quite a few of them down there. They were taking a shower, and like the streams on the side, that's kind of how they wash their clothes and take baths and down that way. But at the head of the mountain, I guess I would say, is where all the water comes out, and they just put their jugs underneath there, and that's
what they drink, right?
That's how they drink, yeah.
Here, pass this down.
gosh.
Pass this down. That's whoever you working with that takes people to goes down to Haiti. Show them that.
Yeah.
It's this tower that pulls water out of the air.
Nice.
And it's based on how bugs get water out of the air.
Oh, wow.
It's not
Wow.
condensation like.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it could do 26 gallons a day, even in the desert. Even in the desert.
Wow, that's
Crazy.
insane.
Yeah, like we could only drink bottled water when we were down there, just because our bodies aren't used to that water and the food, that they cook in with the water. Like we
Right.
can only eat certain foods that the hotel had provided for us. But I mean, it's amazing food. Amazing food. I do have to say, it was really good.
Better than collard greens?
I'm a collard green fan, but I mean, it's really good. It's
We'll have
all
to make you
fresh,
some.
and I mean, they made us fresh juices every morning. You would see them walk in with the fruit, and then 20 minutes later, we had a nice squeezed fruit drink on our plate.
wow.
Homemade peanut butter, homemade jelly.
Does working in the health profession make you more aware of healthy foods and that kind of thing? And
I think so.
Healthy lifestyles?
I do have to say, I have told everyone when I come back to the States after being in Haiti for 10 days, I do not feel good after eating our food.
All the preservatives. Isn't that what they said? You have to acclimate back to preservatives because they don't have any of that in their foods. It does make you a little.
It's
Wow.
kind of crazy. It's kind of scary.
So
all at
maybe
the same time.
with everything we have, we would be healthier if we would
All
eat
the
like
stuff
that,
that
but
they
keep
put in our
everything
food.
else the way, right?
Well, I don't know
because-
that you can do that because of mass production. I mean, our country is, that's what we're founded on.
I
is,
know.
So,
I
I mean, the chicken that's keeping you up at night is on your plate at night the next
Yeah.
day for dinner.
Oh, my
so, I mean, you
gosh.
can't get any.
You know,
fresher
I
than
often
that.
wonder
than
that.
that.
I often wonder, like when I go to Chick-fil-A, I would say to Brian over there, I say, when was this thing actually walking around?
Yeah,
Well,
it's crazy.
were some of the eye diseases that you treated when you were there caused by the bad particles in the water or the food or something?
No, it's a lot of it's glaucoma. A ton of it is cataracts. I mean,
It's just normal from
normal
aging.
from aging. I mean, and their cataracts are so bad. They're so hard because it's just been like that for years and years and years.
Not my-
Obviously, those people are they're outside
Yes.
all day, every day.
Yes.
And I mean,
The
it's not like they
trigems
have
are so bad.
Indoor jobs, so they're exposed to the elements.
Yeah. But yeah, glaucoma was one, cataracts are two, and pterygiums was probably three.
Toe jams?
Pterygiums.
What is it?
Pterygium.
What is that?
They probably had toe jam, but we didn't treat that, I'm sure.
It's a growth on the eye itself.
Oh, on the eye.
Yeah.
And a lot of, you see it in people that have high sun exposure.
Yeah,
so.
so UV exposure usually accelerates its growth.
There was quite a bit of young people down there this go around that had one eye with cataracts, which, they had no trauma or nothing. So it was interesting. Just, there was like probably 6 of them, just all of a sudden, and they were like 18 to 21. They were extremely
Oh,
young.
my.
But, they're 20 in the one eye and, count fingers in the other. So we got them taken care of for sure. And they were extremely happy the next day.
I bet. It's just an amazing thing you were able to do.
We try to definitely do, because, it's so limited with the cataract surgery down there, we try to do definitely, a young person and then definitely the patients who are basically hand motion in both eyes. So at least we can get one eye going for them so they can see something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then, next year, try to get that other eye taken care of. So,
Oh my God.
but yeah.
You ladies
You're
are
miracle workers,
so
all of
amazing.
you.
Yeah.
What you do and what you know,
you.
just so much.
I do have one announcement if I can.
Yeah, sure.
On April 22nd at 3 p.m., Dr. Vish is going to do a speech on premium cataract surgery at the Countryside Presbyterian Church down on State Road 200. If you guys missed Dr. Jank last Sunday, he spoke at that same facility on customized cataract surgery care. So if you miss that, we are having another one, and when it gets a little bit closer, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but maybe you can write it down on your calendar. It's April 22nd at 3 p.m. at the
And it is a
Countryside
question and answer
Presbyterian.
session too.
Yes.
So they can ask lots of questions.
We
that's
didn't
Dr.
video.
Jank?
Yeah.
Dr.
Dr.
Vish.
Well,
Vish.
Dr. Vish will be doing
Vish.
that one. Dr. Jank did the one last Sunday. We were having some technical difficulties, so we didn't get to video it, but we're going to try to video the second one, and we can maybe put it on Facebook or something.
All right, ladies, thank you
Thank
for
you,
what you
thank
do. For the listeners, if you need your eyes taken care of, go to Ocala Eye. Also for the facials
That's
that
right.
were mentioned, and don't forget, hearing aids are also part
Yes.
of what they do over at Ocala Eye. Thank you. Thank you for what
you.
you do and for
Thank
coming
you.
here. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here is your news brief from the source WOCA. A Florida Senate panel has rejected an amendment to add an assault weapons ban to a package of reforms. The Senate Rules Committee did advance the overall package, Senate Bill 7026, dubbed the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School Public Safety Act, designed to provide law enforcement, the courts, and schools with the tools necessary to enhance public and school safety. Marion County Public Schools will be sending a team of counselors down to Broward County to help with the crisis response at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. In Orange County, a 14-year-old has been arrested and charged after an explosion Saturday in a restroom at Timber Creek High School. No injuries were reported. Orlando has passed an emergency ordinance that makes social media threats illegal. The Florida legislature is also working to enact similar legislation at the state level. And the 4th annual Busch Gardens Food and Wine Festival begins this weekend. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Gene Powell Pasture Mowing, 352-629-2440. Our tractor services include bush hog, disking, front end loader, box blade, and stump grinding. We also have zero-turn mowers for the smaller paddocks, aisleways,